Hi everyone, welcome back to Conceptual Thinkers Talk Primary Math Concept with Teacher Ben. So today we'll be touching on P6 ACS Junior 2022 Prelim Paper 2 Question 10. So let's start to interpret the question. So Ron and Harry started running in opposite direction. So they are running in the opposite direction on the running trail. So Ron ran at the speed of 110 meters per minute. So at the end of 15 minutes, they were 3,525 meters apart. So your job is to find Harry's speed in meter per minute. Okay, now this is a straightforward identification concept of speed. So speed here. Now there's a few things that I want to go through in terms of the formulas before we talk about how to solve the question. So for speed, right, you can actually remember the formula through this triangle. So D represents distance, S represents speed, and T represents time. So when you are trying to find distance, what you need to do is just use your time to cover D, and you know that to get your distance you have to do speed times time. Now if you want to find speed, so what you do is just cover with the S here. So whatever you do is you just do a division, so it will be distance divided by time. So if you are trying to find time, then you take distance divided by speed. So what you do is use your time, then you just cover the T, and you look at the what is remaining. So you get T divided by S. So D divided by S, that is to get the time. Okay, so this first thing that I think you need to take note before you can start doing any speed question. So don't worry about speed. The name and the name of the topic actually sounds scary, and you have to do this new learning in P6. But based on what I understand is speed is actually quite easy to score in PSLE. Okay, so don't scared by it. Next, the second thing that I think you have to take note is the units. So in this case, right, we have speed in terms of meter per minute, and our time here is 15 minutes. So there's no issue in terms of the units. But there are some questions, right? Let me just write down the things to take note. Units, especially the time and distance. Okay. So the reason why I mentioned this is because sometimes, right, the units for speed can be kilometer per hour. Then the time taken is given in minutes. So what you do is you have to convert this time to hour so that you can actually do the calculation, or else, right, you will get a wrong calculation. Okay, so in this case it's meter per minute, so we will stick to that. Let me just remove this. Okay, so let's start to solve the question. So what I suggest when it comes to solving of speed question is to do a speed diagram. So I call it speed diagram. Some school call it a timeline. So it's actually doing the same thing. So what I do is they are started running in the opposite direction, right? So this is the thing. So Ron is here, then Harry is here. So they are running in the opposite direction. Okay, so what we know is in the end they will still end within 15 minutes. So the time taken, right, will be 15 minutes. So for Harry will also be 15 minutes. Okay, now the total distance apart in the end, right, will be 3,525 meter. Okay, we only have the speed of Ron, which is 110 meter per minute. Okay, your job is to find the speed of Harry. Okay, now let's start to think how to get the speed of Harry. So look at your formula. So to get the speed of Harry, we need to cover S, so it will be distance divided by time. So the first thing I'll ask myself is, do I have the time? The answer is yes, I have time, which is 15 minutes. So it's easy to actually get the information from the question. Next thing is I'll be asking myself, do I have the distance? Now apparently I don't have the distance of Harry. Yeah, but am I able to find the distance? So the answer is yes, we need to use other information that was given to us to find the distance covered by Harry. Okay, so now if I look at Ron, so am I able to find the distance covered by Ron? The answer is yes. So I put dr to represent the distance covered by Ron. So according to the formula to get distance, what I need to do is I need to cover d, so it will be speed times time, right? So speed of Ron times time of Ron. So speed here is 110, then time here is 15 minutes. So what I do is I use my calculator and I do a calculation because this is a paper 2 question. So I will get 1650 meter. Okay, now once I have the distance of Ron and I know the total distance apart is 3525 meter, so I can find distance of Harry. Okay, so what I do is I take the total distance 3525, I minus away 1650, which is the distance covered by Ron. So let's do a subtraction. I will end with 1875 meter. Okay, so with distance and time, now I can finally find the speed of Harry. So speed of Harry, again we cover the S, so we got distance Harry divided by time taken by Harry. So distance will be 1875 meter. So we divided by 15 minutes. So divided by 15. So I'm going to end with 125 meter per minute. Okay, so this is the way that I will be solving the question. So remember, when you solve speed question, look at what they ask for. In this case, they are asking for speed. So if they are asking for speed, think about the formula. So we need distance divided by time. So ask yourself, do you have the component? So let's say that you don't have one of the component. Am I able to use the information from another person or another vehicle to do the calculation? So most of the time you can do that. Okay, so don't worry about like if you don't have the information that you can't solve it. No, you can actually find it by other ways. Okay, now next thing is how to inspect the solution. So if you look at the speed of Ron is 110, then the speed of Harry is 125. Now you notice that the distance covered by Harry is more than Ron. So the answer does make sense. So this is a few things that I will check by just visual. Okay. Now next thing is to ensure that you didn't use any of the numbers wrongly. Okay, very important. Ensure that the units we are using are correct for speed. Okay. Now in terms of the total distance, so what I will do is I actually do a quick reverse calculation with my calculator. So I can take 1875 at 1650. It should end with my total distance. Okay, so all these things are important, and also check that you have written the units for your final answer. Okay, so let's summarize. Please remember the formula. You can use this triangle to remember the formula. Now ensure that the units used for time distance is matching with the speed formula. Speed units. And lastly, draw the speed diagram. So once you draw the speed diagram, it will become easy for you to visualize and find out what is the component that you need to solve for the question. Okay, so that's the end of this video. So don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Conceptual Thinkers. So follow us on our Facebook, Conceptual Thinkers Mathematics and English Hub. And you can also follow us on our TikTok, Conceptual Thinkers SG. So feel free to share your question and let me know is there anything that you want us to highlight, and we will try our best to create a video to explain your question. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.